Hey gang, welcome back to J Daddy's Workshop. I'm actually in the middle of a renovation of my shop. I'm putting in insulation and paneling and painting and doing that sort of thing. And so I decided to make a secondary video in the middle of that process. This is about insulation. Now, several years ago, I put in a mini split system out here and I finished out the walls on the opposite side of the shop. So they are insulated and paneled and painted, and it's been fantastic. I also put spray foam in the ceiling or in the roof of the shop, and that helped tremendously. If I had a choice and I could afford it, I would put spray foam in this wall behind me and finish out all of that, but I can't. So I'm going to go with traditional R13 insulation. Now maybe I'm sharing information that you already know, but there may be somebody on here who's never put in insulation and could use some tips. So that's what this is about, and let me show you what I'm talking about. So I know I'm overstating the obvious here, but I want to show you some of the temperatures. So if you can see this, over on that wall, 54 degrees. The insulation showing 63 degrees. That's going to be a major difference right there. So the concrete at the bottom, at the base plate, 49.5. What was really surprising was in the back here, I guess not really surprising, I should know this, but this back section, which I have insulation but no paneling, if I check this corner, it's 62.5, 63.5, but if I come right here to this panel, which is no insulation obviously, 9 degrees difference. This upper one, that's at 58 degrees, so still 6 to 9 degrees difference just having insulation on the wall versus the exposed areas. So I'm really looking forward to getting this together. So what I'm using here is R13 with a craft face roll. What that means is this has the paper on it that will hold everything in place. You can buy bare insulation if you want to put it into your attic space or something like that, but this is purposely made to use in floors and wall spaces. Now this is 3.5 inches thick, 15 inches wide. This bundle is 32 feet long, which equals 40 square feet. So when you're looking at a wall, in this case I have built this space to where I am about almost 12 feet tall. So you can do the math pretty quick. You know, if you did 12, 24, 36, one roll will cover 3 of those pretty easily. But I also have a window space and I have a fuse panel, so there's other things that come into play whenever you're doing this. So consider that whenever you're doing your measurements. I have bought 3 rolls of this, but I know it's not enough. I will add more later. I just didn't want to get too much. I have this roll, which is left over from the previous installation of those pieces over there. So this is what I was talking about, craft face paper that holds the insulation. It also has this flange. And I'm going to show you what the purpose of that flange is as well. To do this work, I'm going to use some gloves, a pair of scissors, a stapler, and in this case a framing square, but anything will work. And I also will use a tape measure. So what I want to do is get a measurement from this purlin down to the bottom and transfer that to my roll of fiberglass. So I'm just going to measure inside to inside, and in this case it's right on 60 inches. Now what I will do is unroll the fiberglass, and I'm going to keep the fiberglass side down. Now what I will do is take the tape measure and measure off maybe 60, 60 and a half, just so I have a little bit extra insulation to fill the gap completely. I'll verify that I'm at the right length. And now what I do is I take this framing square, and you can do whatever you want to use, and I will tuck it underneath. And the whole point of this is to just give me a quick reference. So there's a line. Take out my big shears. And now I have my 60-inch piece. Now I'll take this piece and gently place it into the opening. Now this you can consider an option. Because this is 15 inches and this holds really well, you can see it's not falling out. These other pieces that I put in, they're staying in place. But you can, and this is why these pieces are here, fold this out, that little paper flange, and staple it. What that does is it secures the roll a little better, and it may, depending on the situation, add some more air tightness, let's say. Just put it that way. So really not that complicated. Again, I may be over explaining things or simplifying things, but some people don't know how to put in insulation, or they haven't seen it done before, or haven't experienced it. So maybe this will help somebody out in that situation. Now I would just repeat the process over and over until I fill all the caps. The challenge here is you have these other openings that are kind of narrow. What I normally do is if I have leftover ends or pieces from where I've cut everything else off, that's what I tuck into those spaces, and that takes care of those gaps as well. So I hope that was helpful. If nothing else, I hope it was entertaining. But I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. By all means, leave a thumbs up and a comment. Let me know what you think about this video. And until next time, take care of yourselves. See ya. Hey gang, welcome back to J Daddy's Workshop. Today's video is in the middle of another video that I'm making where I'm doing some upgrades to my shop. I wanted to show you some things about insulation that may help you, In this case, I have these in place under this window because they were exposed with Hey gang, welcome back to J Daddy's Workshop. As you can see, no. But what I want to show you is some things you can do to use